What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? This is Renebean. Welcome to another episode of Live Video Game Hunting, the series I started up so I can take you along for the adventure and show you these finds through yard sales, garage sales, flea markets. I go to thrift stores like Goodwill, Salvation Army, and you'll see me use apps like LetGo, OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook, just whatever I can use to get my hands on awesome games for a great deal. You get to see it, and by popular demand, the Sunday giveaway is back in full force, so if you want to enter for your chance to win $20 store credit to my eBay store, where not only can you find games, but just about anything. The rules could not be more simple. Obviously, be subscribed to this awesome channel. Hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment down below, hopefully something positive. If you want a little extra credit, share these videos so other people can see these finds and learn how to beef up their collections as well. Whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, doesn't matter. Links to everything in the description below. That's where you'll find direct links to eBay, Macari, because I'll sell a lot of consoles there, mainly to subscribers, because I always give you guys good deals. You got my Twitch account, P.O. Box information, and Instagram if you've ever had any questions. Guys, I'm super excited about this. We got some really cool stuff to go over, so sit back and relax. Let's shekel up. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. I hope everybody has had some awesome luck this week. Let me know in the comments down below, like always, what you guys find out there. I always like to hear about it. Even if it's not crazy epic, it's always neat just to hear that people are still finding things. Because this stuff is out there. You just got to get that get factor in full swing and you'll find some stuff. So a little backstory with this first pickup right here. Well, first of all, it was a terrible drive because as you can see, my windshield wipers are on their last leg and I have yet to replace them. But don't worry, after I meet up with this person, I go and actually get some. I cannot drive any longer with windshield wipers that do not work. Because as you can see, it's raining like it's been for the past couple weeks. And it's just a pain in the ass to drive like that. It's dangerous. So I did end up replacing them. So this is the type of pickup where Craigslist notifications actually save the day. If you don't know, you can save search results for Craigslist. So if you wanted to only search for Nintendo, it'll email you. And it's not as quick. It doesn't, update as nice as I would like it to, but it does help periodically if you forget to check. And that was the case for this one. This guy posted this Game Boy lot for $60, and at $60, it was a pretty good deal. But at the end of the description on his listing, it said, or best reasonable offer. Now, that's a tricky one to assess right there. I could send him an offer that said, would you take 30? Would you take 40? That's not too reasonable for the lot that you're going to see right here. So I was real conservative, and I said, would you take $50 for it? I can meet you now. And he bid on it. We were able to meet up fairly soon after because I'm sure had it sat there a little bit longer, it would have already been gone. And you can see this lot was well worth the 50 plus some. Now, my hat's off to this guy, because not only does he have an amazingly awesome t-shirt, but he had the balls to actually wear it, and that was awesome. He had me laughing about that thing. So anyways, with this Game Boy lot right here, now I gotta say, this Game Boy was absolutely mint. It was in such good condition that it replaced the one that I had in my game room. It was that well preserved. And you can see all these titles right here. There may be a few throw-in games, but for the most part, we got Zelda, Pokemon. I mean, this lot was well worth the $50. It was worth $60, and like I said, if I would have threw that offer of maybe 30, 40 bucks at him, by the time I did that, I'm sure someone else would have came and scooped it right up. So I felt 50 was the right price to not only get the lot, but to get it quick, because that's the key factor right there, because you got other people hunting on these websites as well, so you got to make sure that you're saying the right things. Now, I know that you're not able to see the actual games. There was only a few that you were able to see. But with this new video format, you'll be able to see them at the end of the video. And it'll be a lot quicker than the way it used to be. And you'll understand why $50 was an amazing deal for this. Now, I do this with anybody that I meet up with. I always say, hey, if you find anything else, I give them the whole list. Save my number, text me back. Because you never know. Sometimes people might actually do so. It has happened in the past. And by the past, I mean last week, because this is the same guy. He texted me back. He's like, man, I got this GameCube lot. Let me know if you're interested in it. He shot me some pics. I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely, 100% I am interested in this lot right here. Now, as you can see, we're pulling in to the long-lost Toys R Us, or soon-to-be long-lost Toys R Us, which is a shame, because it is, you cannot game hunt in there. I mean, it's I wanted to go in there and find some displays, some posters, but they're not selling that, which is a terrible thing because they got some really awesome ones in there, but they were at least smart about the way that they went out of business, very gradually increasing their percentage off versus the older style of just liquidating everything all at once. So I haven't really been able to get any good deals in Toys R Us. If you have, let me know. Now you'll notice it is sprinkling again, not as bad as it was when we met up for the Game Boy, but I didn't want this stuff to get wet like that lot did, which is kind of why I had to rush through it. I want to be able to look through this stuff and make sure that everything that is supposed to be there is, so I opened up the tailgate, gave us a little bit of roof cover. Now, when he sent me these pictures, I was like, oh, that's a phenomenal lot right there. How much do you want for it? And he said 90 bucks. That was a great deal, but I wanted to shave just a little bit more off, especially since I got the Game Boy bundle. Said, would you take 80? And he sent me a message. This was kind of weird. He sent a message back that said, well, the Zelda that you saw there can go for 30 to 40 bucks, which I don't think is that high anymore. It could be. And then I knew it. I knew that this guy knew what he had, but he's just giving out phenomenal deals, and that's what I love. Maybe it's just easier for him to sell this stuff locally. Who knows? He said it was his stuff, but I know that he knows the prices of it. But that's okay. $90 for this lot right here that you're going to see is absolutely amazing. So as you can see, we just pulled out Eternal Darkness, and if you have not played that game, that is by far one of my favorite GameCube games of all time. We also got F-Zero here, right, which I did not think that I had, but it turns out that I did. You know, you kind of get lost in what you have in your collection. That is one that I already had, so that one's just going to go and be resold to flip and recoup this cost. There are some games here that I do get to keep, which is the beauty of it. It's not all about resale. If it is, if this whole lot right here was just for resale, that's fine too. But anytime that I can add games in my collection, blows me away because it's getting harder and harder to do as my collection grows. So you may be thinking to yourself, for $90, that's not the craziest of deals. Well, believe it or not, it really is. When you see in the final part of the video, you'll understand. But the money was there alone in just the controller, because not only were there two controllers, a purple, maybe a gray, I can't remember if it was gray or black, and there was a Wavebird, and then there was a Spice Orange controller that was in absolutely beautiful condition. That's the full $90 right there, not to include the major stack of awesome games and the GameCube itself. This lot was well worth it. And a quick tip, one you should already know, is if you find a Wavebird in the wild, make sure it has the receiver. Obviously, this guy had everything all together. The receiver was there, but that is something that you need to look out for, because that makes or breaks the controller, completely devalues it to like 10, 15 bucks without it. So anyways, guys, when you see in the final part of this video, you're going to be like, damn, for 90 bucks, that was an absolute amazing deal right there. I was very happy and very appreciative that this guy actually texted me back. Always tell them if they find anything else, please give me a shout. Alright guys, so this is my only find at the flea market. It was pretty dead. There was a little bit of competition out there, but I was there a little late. It was like 6:30. I'll be there at 5:30 next weekend, and I'll probably have a lot better luck. But I don't know what it is about the flea market. It's just kind of like losing its joy for me. Whenever I see 6 or 7 people scrambling over the same, common games, it just kind of kills it. But I'll still be there just to piss everybody off and get these awesome scores, because they still can be gotten. So you've seen this guy in previous pickups. He always does awesome deals, and he comes across some pretty new stock pretty often. Now you'll know from previous videos, this guy's got his little sign that says 20 to 40% off, and he never charges me that. It's always half off or more if I'm getting more than one game. At least it has been in that last week. I've developed this relationship with this guy, and he's always done me amazing deals. And the one game that I ended up picking up was Gem Power for the Super Nintendo. It's not an expensive game, but it's one that you just don't see often. I paid $4 for it. I probably could have got more off had I got more games. But that's what I like about this guy. Always be friendly with him, build a relationship, and he told me personally, he's like, I'll always do you at least 50 off, so I was happy about it. So here I am at the first yard sale, and I'll always perk up when I get to the first yard sale, because whenever I leave that flea market, you see everybody with their sad faces on and their pissed off faces, just from seeing other people. Just be happy for everybody. It just makes me feel better to get out here and just be by myself. And I come across a few games, nothing crazy here. I am still hesitant when it comes to buying wrestling games, for like PS3, Xbox, all that, just because I don't know a lot about them. Wrestling was one of those things that I never got heavy into. But you do see this nice little bag of Game Boy games right here. It had some DS games and some GBA games. They only wanted $2 for all that, which is a pretty decent deal. more throwaway games or games that I can bundle with systems, but at $2, the price was absolutely perfect. And then I picked up this Call of Duty Black Ops 3. She had $4 price tag on that. I ended up paying $5 for the bundle itself. Some of the Call of Duty games still hold their value, and you can still, have an easy flip, $10, $15, just depending on which one you get. In that bag of Game Boy games was actually Call of Duty Black Ops for the DS, and I believe that one still goes for $10 or so just for the card itself. So for $5 to pick all these little games up, it wasn't a bad stop at all, and it's just getting those juices flowing for the rest of the yard sales. I'm setting that tone because you never want to start yard selling and not find a single thing for half the time you've been out there. You need to buy something and just get those gears going, and I'm telling you, for whatever reason, it works. Alright guys, so do you ever get this feeling whenever you're out yard selling? Now I'll tell you the story. This was a community sale right here, but it was like an older type of community sale. You know what I'm talking about, where it's just it's mainly filled up by the elderly. And I was on my way out, and then as I was driving by, I saw this girl with this Pokemon shirt, and I was like, you know what, damn it, I'm gonna stop at this one final sale. I asked her, I was like, do you got any games? Gave her the list, and she's like, well, I got Xbox stuff, old Xbox. I was like, well, you know what, I absolutely love old Xbox stuff. So she went out and she pulled out this huge box of stuff for me to go through, and this is when I'm in my happy place right here, guys. Check this out. We end up getting some amazing titles right here. But as I was saying, you get this feeling that you should go back, you shouldn't miss this sale. That's what I had here, and I'm glad I followed my gut on there. Anytime you get that feeling, that little bit of intuition about something, follow it, because for whatever reason, I'd say like 60% of the time it leads to something amazing. And I will say this lot's not like the most spectacular. It is great for the price that I paid and what I got, everything. But had I not followed my instinct and actually went and checked this one out, I wouldn't have found this stuff. So I'm telling you, trust your instincts, trust your gut. If you have an intuition about something, follow it, because I'm telling you, it's going to pay off in the end. And I'm telling you, if you had seen this sale, this whole community sale, it had more mason jars and snow globes and Christmas decorations than I've seen in a while. And that's why to find this in this same community sale, that mother back there had to have been the youngest by half from all of them. So anyways, we pulled out Gauntlet Legacy right there. Now, I did see it in the box, and I know that these are loose, and those cases were probably empty, which I was right on, to preemptively put them back in their cases, because this is going to be one of the games that I wanted to pick up, because I was pretty sure that I did not have it in my collection, and you know that I'm a huge original Xbox collector. And the Gauntlet Dark Legacy, that is definitely one to pick up. That's somewhere between a $20 to $30 game, just depending on the market at the time. And they had some really good taste in games right here. She, probably in her mid-20s, she had these games. She said that she loved the original Xbox, which is awesome to me. And you see that I'm able to pull out some more cool titles right here. We got Kirby's Epic Yarn, which I believe went down pretty drastically in price. I want to say maybe it's still $10, $12, but it's just going to be part of the bundle. There's that Gauntlet Dark Legacy right there that did not have the disc in there. Luckily, the disc was in great shape. And then you see Digimon 4 right there, which there was the disc. I knew that was going to be the one needed for the case and one that I wanted for my collection, because, again, that's one that I did not have. I'm adding 2 games to my collection right here. Another game I got is the Suffering Ties That Bind, and I'm telling you, you heard me say this in previous videos, now's the time to start finding original Xbox games, because the prices are only going to go up, especially since they announced backwards compatibility for the Xbox One X. Not saying the games that are not backwards compatible are anything special, but it just draws interest to that console, and when interest is there, there's interest in the other games. So I have seen it. A lot of people can admit they have seen pricing on a lot of original Xbox games start to go up. So definitely don't ignore them when you're out yard selling. It's good to know your knowledge about that system, about that console. Luckily, I do, and I know which games are, usually worth it for the most part. But do your research, because they are severely overlooked at yard sales. Another game you didn't really see me pick up, which was one called Phantom Dust. That's just one that I already had. It's going to help recoup the cost on this. And I also picked up a black WeMotion Plus controller, which I always say, be on the lookout for your controllers. So I asked her how much she wanted for this entire stack. She said $20. No need to shekel her down any lower than that. That was a phenomenal deal. And I get to add 2 games to my collection, make a few bucks. and grow my collection even more. So this was a very awesome yard sale stop. Always trust those feelings you get, because had I not, they would probably still be sitting in their closet. Here I am at a different community sale, one with the age of the actual residents being a lot easier to deal with. Your chances are a lot higher. And I'll tell you, the bad thing about this community sale is I kept following people, and that's just the way it goes. I got to this place fairly early, 7:30, 8 o'clock, but people were telling me that there was people showing up at 6 o'clock. Now that strategy is not a good one for one main reason. You're going to be pissing people off coming that early. I don't mind coming 30 minutes early, tops, but when people are showing up an hour and a half, 2 hours early, not only are you pissing people off, but you're not going to see all the sales that are set up. So, and then there was, I guess, another person at the same community sale, whether it's a game hunter or just a reseller. So I just kept following people that whole day, and it's a downer, but it does happen. You're either the person in front, in the middle, or behind. And for me, I was just completely in last place on this. But I do come across this Wii bundle right here. Obviously, it was too much. They wanted $100 on there, and there was no way that I was going to pay that on there. Even at $50, I probably wouldn't. But I asked them, I was like, "Are you going to sell any of these games separately?" They said, "Sure." $3 a game. I picked up Mario Kart, $3. It was a good deal. Obviously, that's going to be one of those quick flip items right there. $15, $20 game, $3. If they didn't want to break up the bundle, I completely understand that. That it's not for me to sit here and say, "Why don't you sell this one game?" Or, people want to sell things as lots. That does suck, but this is one of the heavier titles in that whole lot. Or really, the only one. That Skylander stuff, man. I don't get into it. And at $100, that thing's going to sit there all day. I doubt anybody's going to buy it. And that's when he told me, because I asked him, I was like, "You got any other video games?" He's like, "Man, you're the third person that asked me. It's either records or video games or something." And I get that. Anytime that I hear, someone's already asked me, I think about all the times that I find amazing scores, and then, like, the people that are behind me. So that's just the way that, the world works. As the famous game chasers say, that's just the way game chasing go. And I was able to at least pull one little diamond out of the rough here, but could have been potentially a lot more. Alright, so here we are with the final pickup of the week, and I ended up getting a sealed copy of Demons to Diamonds for the Atari 2600 for only $1. It did not have the cellophane wrapping on there. Someone took it off, but the box has never been opened, and it's still glued shut. But the good thing about this yard sale here is I had to have been like the only person that really showed up. It was in a bad spot, very poorly advertised, and I ended up getting so much other amazing stuff. I've always debated on showing that type of footage in these finds. If you don't mind it, I might do it in the next episode, because I got so much amazing resale stuff. Because as a lot of guys, I'm a reseller, and I pick up everything, not just video games. So anyways, guys, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.